My name is Tracy Cook and this is the podcast series Victim to Victory. This series gives a voice to those who have overcome challenges in all forms that dare greatly to share their real stories. These amazing humans that have seen hope and risen above those adversities to become victorious, that go on to support and inspire others to do the same. And today we are welcoming and giving a voice to Evie Wilson. Thank you for joining us today, Evie.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, you're very welcome. So today I really want to give you a voice, I really want to give you a platform because your story is inspiring, it is powerful, and I think you've got a really great message to share of overcoming adversities. So let us get to know you. Who is Evie and where does your story start?
So my story starts from nearly 6.5 years ago when I got sick and I was in a coma. I was on life support, and when I woke up from the coma I was totally blind and I couldn't walk.
And have they determined what the illness was?
They treated me for meningitis, but they're not really 100% sure. But while I was in the coma, because I was out, my diabetes wasn't monitored, so I wasn't getting insulin, and I had complications from that, and I had what they call adrenal fatigue, and I went into adrenal crisis. So my body was literally non-responsive to the fight or flight.
Wow. And how have you handled that emotionally?
It's up and down all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm okay until I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, some days are good, some days are bad.
Mm-hmm.
The first couple of months were hectic, suicidal and things. You know, I think that's a natural thing to want to go through when such a trauma happens. Mm. But you know, you just stay at home and do what you can, and yeah.
It's such a trauma, isn't it?
I don't even know how I coped, because I can't look back and say, well, I did this, this and this, because I don't know how I coped. I just did.
So it was just a bit of a phase, a daze almost. You're just going from day to day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to get out of bed, and then when you do get out of bed, you just go to the kitchen and back again, and you don't want to get out of your pyjamas, and then, you know, your next step is just having a shower even, you know, just before you go, and then the next step is to get dressed, and you don't have to do all in the one day. It could take you weeks before you get to the next step. But you just do what you can do on any given day. Same now, 6 years later.
Yeah.
You know, if I can't cope in one day, then I'm not going to get up and get dressed and have a shower. And
are you living independently now?
I try to, but I still live, I have my own section at my mum's house. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness, yeah.
So I've got, you know, bathroom, kitchen, dining, lounge room, bedrooms, patio. That is my section that she makes me look after. That helps me whenever I need.
It's good to have that independence as well, so you're just kind of taking ownership back of yourself also. Yeah. Now, how long, Evie, were you in a coma for?
7 days.
7 days?
Just a week, yeah. But life support for 3 days, I think. And then, when I woke up, I thought that my eyes had been taped shut because I couldn't see anything. It was just pitch black.
And so you had vision before you were found in a coma.
Yep.
You've gone in a coma.
Yep.
And then you're legally blind.
Yep. Legally and totally blind.
Legally and totally blind.
No shadows, no light, nothing. It's just pitch black.
And
it's a bit like the white noise on a TV, but the opposite way around. It's like more black than it is white, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not, it's hard to describe.
And obviously this has had an impact on your family as well.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for my mum. She might not believe me, and I'm only saying it because we're here today, but I really do appreciate everything that she's done for me. She left her career to look after me, you know, as any mum would, I guess.
As mums do.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally feel that, and I totally hear that message. You do anything for your children.
Yeah. So, and she's just continued to do it. You know, I lost my my boyfriend left me. I had no friends. They didn't want anything to do with me anymore because I was now disabled, and I did push them away to start with because I didn't know how to deal with things. But you kind of expect them to be there for you when you're ready. But anyway.
So you've had a relationship breakdown because of this as well.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
so you had suicidal thoughts?
Yeah, all the time. But you just, because of my family, they're my, what stopped me from going any further or doing anything irreversible is my family, because I don't want my mum to find me and have to deal with that, because that's not fair on her.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll keep going?
Yep.
Okay. I know this is very hard to talk about, but we're talking pre-show about how we need to give a voice to people that have gone through such traumas and adversities to come out on the other side. So I really commend you for being brave today, Evie, and taking that step. It's clearly very, very upsetting for you. And I truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you being a voice for the voiceless that are perhaps going through the same or similar circumstances, and they need to know that they're not alone. They need to know that there is hope, and they need to know that there is a supportive community for them. So you're a voice for them today. So thank you for daring greatly to step into that power, because more of us need to do that and create awareness and tell our real stories, because without that we can't connect and we can't show hope.
I think one of the things that helped me get through stuff was the peer-to-peer stuff, the people helping people. You get people that work in the sector and they can tell you, like this script that they've written and they read to you, but it's the communities that you make and that you belong to now, that help me get through.
And what are some of those communities that are helping you at the moment?
I think where I started was the blind community. That was a good starting point, because some of the people they could relate. They did lose their vision, later on in life. People that have had no vision their entire lives, they have an understanding as well, but it's still different. So the people that have lost their vision later on in life, they have more of an understanding. So it's just talking to them. You can't really get you can ask questions and things, but I think just being with them, seeing how they cope and survived. And
do you share similar stories? So say somebody who used to have their vision and then lost their vision, do you find that talking to them, do you share similar things in common?
Yeah, sometimes. And I guess it depends on the person as well. Like, I don't just hang out with blind people because they're blind.
That's right.
I hang out with them because I like them.
Yes.
And they've become my friends.
Yes.
And they're my support network. And it is. I don't say that I live in a sighted world. I don't live in a blind world, even though I am blind. Most of my relationships are with sighted people, because that's what I knew beforehand. But I still go back to I call them they're my blinky friends.
I love it. I love it.
Friends.
I love it.
So I do go back to them if I need help, or trying to find resources or where to go for something, or but still hanging out with them is something, because they're people.
That's right.
They're just people.
So I love it in the story that you sent me when you were talking to me about being one of my guests. One of the things that stood out, and your story, and it gave me goosebumps, was when you said, I see it as an ability, not a disability. I absolutely love that. In my full-time job, I work with people with disabilities, so I can very much relate to that. And it's very easy to get into a negative mindset and a negative space when, you know, you just can't handle things anymore, or something, a trauma happens like with yourself, and we always go to the negative. So it takes a lot of inner work, and it takes a lot of realizations, and it takes a lot of counselling and therapy sometimes to see your ability above a disability. So what are some of the things, talk us through some of the things that you have had to work on even more with your change of circumstances?
Everything.
Everything?
You have to learn to, I had to learn to walk again for a start, but you have to learn to do everything, even just finding the food on your plate or brushing your teeth. I challenge you to try and get the toothpaste on your brush with no vision. I suck the toothpaste right out of the tube now, because it's so much easier to do. So you have to relearn to do things from scratch. You know, even just buttering a piece of toast, or finding your way around your home that you've known for years with no vision is very hard. So I've had to do it from scratch, basically, and just learning different routines and just how to get through, and you do everything differently. You know, so let's not talk about therapy.
Let's not talk about therapy. So obviously there's a therapy component or a counselling component to going through such a transition from trauma. So you've been through therapies?
Yeah.
Yep.
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
I haven't really responded to any as much as I have art therapy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I am such a fan of art therapy.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan. So tell us about art therapy. How's it helping?
So I started out going to an organisation that assists blind people, and they had an art program there. And that's where I started doing the whole, well, you can do this, let's do it, you can do it. So I started doing mosaics and smashing the tiles and just rearranging them like a broken jigsaw puzzle, really. So it was something easy for me to do, but it was something I could do. You know, so again, that's showcasing abilities, what I could do, and then they were teaching me how to do things differently as well, so that I could do them independently on my own. And I try and do something independently every day, which is important to me.
So you're pushing yourself every day to just stretch every day, to get back to, you know, a different you, I suppose, would it be?
This is like my new normal.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I know it's been 6 years now, but it's still, you learn things every day, and you get tested every day, and you're frustrated every day, but you're learning every day as well. So I think that's important. If you don't, you know, every day I have to step outside my comfort zone, whether I want to or not. Some days anxiety lets me, some days it doesn't. But
and talk us through your anxieties. What fears and triggers you around your anxieties? If you don't mind sharing.
No, I don't mind sharing. I just don't know how to answer it, really. I have some triggers, which are being left alone. The issues of abandonment, maybe. Not sure. But so I like, if I am going to be left alone, I want to be touching something, so I know, like, furniture that's not going to move, or a wall, or, you know, a balustrade or something, anything that's just there, chair, whatever. And then if I'm left in an open space for even sometimes 30 seconds, it can trigger me. So you just deal with it accordingly. I'm okay until I'm not.
So you're always having to kind of think and plan ahead constantly. Yep.
Definitely.
And even for daily routines. So I believe that you've got a business, which is absolutely fantastic. And I like one of the things that you said to me as well, and it was, I may not have sight, but I've got a vision for the future. And I think that is kind of the quote of this series, I think, because a lot of people do take the the fact that we've got vision, we've got sight for granted. And like you said, sometimes even just brushing your teeth can be a challenge, and we all sometimes need to stop and check ourselves and realise that we shouldn't take even just the most mundane things for granted. There are always people that are going to be challenged with so many different circumstances, and in your case it wasn't as though you woke up and you didn't have vision. So I could only imagine what you've been through in the last 6 years. So take us through when you're in hospital and you've got the diagnosis, and the doctors are there, and obviously you've got the support of your wonderful family, and they have said that you're never possibly going to see again.
So
do you remember that actual moment?
They never actually said that to me, because I was only the 4th recorded case in the world of this happening to somebody. So they didn't have enough evidence to make that assumption that I would never get my sight back. They just said the longer I had no sight, the less likely it was to come back. So I had tests after test after test. I had all sorts, I had electrodes hooked up to my brain and my eyes, and I had truck lights shone in them to get response, and they just don't respond. My pupils actually don't dilate, and they just stay the same all the time. Because they're just non-responsive. It's my optic nerve that it's damaged. There was no oxygen getting to it, so it just died. So hopefully with technology, they'll be able to one day bypass the optic nerve and get the message straight to my brain.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
That would be amazing, yeah.
That would be absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
And it comes back to if we can put man on the moon, we should be able to do stuff like that, right?
Well, we've only put him there once,
Only once, I think, But we did do it. But look, I just commend you for being so brave. So take us through a day now. 6 years on from the trauma. Take us through a day now, like you said, the daily struggles.
So each day is very, very different to the next. I have managed to get myself a part-time job.
Fantastic.
And I also have my business that I do, the upcycling and repurposing, so that's art therapy in itself. That also keeps me busy. I do some volunteer work at a couple of organisations, but I'm studying as well. I study like 3 different things.
So tell us about your studying.
So I've just started studying Cert 4 in Community Services, I think.
Great.
Which is at TAFE. I'm doing the new Enterprise Incentive Scheme, which is the NEIS program for micro business operations. And I'm also studying sign language as well. So
that is fantastic.
Which is weird because I'm blind, but
Auslan, is it?
Auslan,
I would like to learn Auslan. And I've got a bit of a how in schools where they teach Spanish and French, I still think they should be teaching Auslan.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's more practical, and you're going to more than likely come across more people that use sign language than you do Spanish or French. Especially in Australia.
It's so important to learn. It's just another form of communication for people that we're surrounded by in our communities, so I think it's important.
I would love to fully be the driver behind fully implementing Auslan as a language for most of our schools. I think it's really essential.
Definitely.
Now take us through when you came home and things were different after you've got out of hospital, and again you've had the support of your family. What was the biggest resistance on your part? Was there any resistance?
Good question. I guess trying to look back that far is really hard, because you try and block it out and not, I mean, those, like I said, those first few months, 18 months even, were just, they are a blur, you know, because you do try and put them behind you. But I think...
and it sounds like you've come so far in that 6 and a bit years as well, that there's probably some blocks you've put up as well, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's nice that people perceive that I've come very far, but I feel like I'm still so far back as well.
Yeah.
So I'm like stuck at the moment. I think that's where I'm at. And
kind of stuck in transition still?
Yeah, you know, and just coping. And like I said, some days I'm good, some days I'm not, you know, but there's no... This is a grieving process, it's absolutely a grieving process. And not just for me, but for my family. You know, it's hard for my family to see me and to struggle, just to find the glass on the bench, or, you know, get them to the front door, or, you know, make them a coffee. You know, that's, it's hard for people to deal with. And we all deal with it in our own way. But...
and if you had support from community as well?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And what kind of message would you like to share with all the audience today? What kind of message would you like to say?
I think in life, I'm just like, I can do things. Like, don't think I can't just because I'm blind. You know, it is that ability, not disability, and it is about... for me, I see things differently now, even though I'm blind. I do see things differently. It's the message in my business, because I upcycle and I repurpose things, and I make people see things differently, because I do things differently, and I can do things. I don't always want to, and I can be lazy at the best of times.
Can't we all?
But, yeah, exactly.
We can all be like that.
Yeah. So it's... yeah, I don't really have a message other than that, you know, it's about abilities, not disability. And some people don't like the word disability, and some people are, well, you know, I'm a person before I'm disabled, but I do feel like I am a disabled person.
Yeah.
You know, that has really defined me over the last 6 years.
Yeah.
You know, I'm that blind girl now. Or, you know, that I met a blind girl, or that blind girl.
And you know what, working in the disability sector myself, I hear that a lot from my clients, that they do define themselves as a disabled person.
Yeah.
And you hit the nail on the head when you say, oh, that blind girl.
Yeah.
Because I have a guy in a wheelchair with cerebral palsy, and he says, oh, I'm known as, you know, in my street, I'm known as, oh, the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
And we need to kind of change that a little bit, I think, because, well, actually quite a lot, because I think we need to see the person and the ability, and that's what I like that is so strong about your message, because I really am all about seeing people for people.
Yeah.
Black, white, short, tall, male, woman, educated, uneducated, whatever, disabled, abled. We have to see people as people.
Yeah.
And like I keep saying, is that see the abilities, not the disabilities.
Yeah.
So we're still educating communities, we're still educating in schools, and there could be more awareness perhaps in most schools. But it's for us to have people like you raising the voices, raising the standards, and showing that you can still fail forward.
Yeah.
And I think that is a lovely, endearing term of failing forward, because we're all failing forward, and we're all trying to be the best versions of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that you're doing the upcycling and recycling. And not only is it a great way to do things and a creative way to do things, but do you feel like you're upcycling yourself as well?
Oh, good question. I guess in a way, yeah. You know, I do, I don't know, I'm just me.
Yeah.
I don't do too much self-reflecting.
Yep.
But, yeah, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Upcycling yourself a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a bit of an upcycle myself.
I I'm a very different person to what I used to be. Very different.
Personality and characteristic changes?
Just everything.
Yeah.
There's some things that have stayed the same. I think my mum will agree.
So what's stayed the same and what's changed for your personality and character?
Oh, I don't know if I want to go into that. I don't know if I had to answer right now. That'd be hard. But just some things along the way, I'm like, oh, that's, back in the day, I thought, oh, I would never have done that.
Yeah.
Or,
you feel like you step out of your comfort zone a bit more?
Yeah, I do, definitely.
Than what you used to before you lost sight?
Yeah, but then there's things that I would have done back in the day that I absolutely wouldn't do now.
Yep.
So...
So would you have any regrets?
I try not to.
Yeah.
I do try not to. But I think if anyone said they had no regrets, they'd be lying.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, but I do try not to have regrets. But I mean, we can all go back and say, yeah, I would have done this differently, but this is the pathway that's been paved for me. And even if I'd have gone back and said, we say that what the upcoming or what happened to me going blind was just a series of unfortunate events. But then in a way it's like a serendipity as well. It's got it's a happy accident, because the people I've met and the people I've come across and the opportunities that I've had and the people that I've helped. I've helped a lot of people in all different ways.
Yeah. And what are some of the different ways you've gone on to help people?
I think when I first started, I was very... I'd help people advocate. So I'd come across them and there was just grey areas and I'm like, no, that's not right. You can't be treated like that, no. And then I would go and, find the information and try and help them deal with the situation and just give them, just help them.
Yeah, so give them a bit of help, give them a bit of advocacy, give them a bit of mentoring and vision for the future as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, it might just be connecting people that I've come across or, helping at an organisation because, I've got the knowledge, I just don't have the skill anymore. I'm not very good on a computer anymore. And I've only had 6 years to learn the speech program, but haven't.
Yep.
Again, lazy, I think. But I've had other priorities as well.
Definitely. Definitely. So. Yeah, 100%. But I like the way that you're saying that you going on to advocate and help and be a voice and push people, and you can hear it in your voice and your tone. Is that no, that's not right. You go and do so and so. So there's still a fire in your belly to kind of inspire people as well, which you can hear in your voice. Yeah. No, I love it. Yeah. I absolutely love it. Yeah. And would Mum like to step over for a moment if she wants to, and we can ask Mum a question? Linda, being Evie's mum, take us through something that you would like to say, a message that you would like to share.
I think the message I would like to share is going back to when Yvette first came out of the hospital and we were at home and you didn't want to get up. And we made that step each, maybe not every day, but each time it was, as you said, get up, move from the bedroom to the kitchen, just making the progress, and every day was progress. But the heart-wrenching part was, Evie said to me, leave me sleeping because I can see when I dream.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but I couldn't leave you sleeping. It was get up, get moving, get on with the next thing, get dressed, and today we're going out. So it was one step at a time. So even though you can still see in your dreams, I can't let you sleep that long. We've got too much to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that, and I really like that you've got the support of your family, and I really like that you appreciate that because not a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
And you've just made me tear up, Linda.
Yeah.
And
wait, I've got tissues.
Let's all share a vision for the future Evie's been very brave. Thank you. I need a tissue.
I might have to share with Mum. I've only got one now.
We're all wiping our tears away here. It's a bit emotional.
We felt exactly the same when she learned to walk again and couldn't wear high heels.
Oh, I was devastated. Not being able to wear my heels anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It's a minor detail. Being able to walk is far more important.
Yeah.
That's it. Perspective.
Yeah.
Perspective is very powerful.
Yeah.
And you've got a loving family. You've got your health.
Yeah.
You've got people surrounding you, supporting you. You've got a vision for the future.
Yeah.
You've got empowering. This will go on to help many others that will connect with you, to be a voice out into the community.
Yeah, I hope so.
You've got a strong mum there that you can see is going to support and go on to continue to support.
Yeah.
And for that, we're all grateful.
Yeah.
And you're still with us, so we're very grateful.
Thank you.
Because you are
And continue to
worthy.
make a difference. She's making a difference in other people's lives as
Yeah.
well. The people you come in contact with.
Yeah.
100%. You can hear it in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
And Evie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Linda. Thank you very much for being brave and sharing your story. Thank you, Evie. Thank you, Linda. It's very appreciated. We've got the tissues out here. You can find our podcast on YouTube and the Facebook group Victim to Victory podcast series. You can find us on Spotify under Victim to Victory and other podcast platforms. If you got value from today, please subscribe, like and comment. And I'd like to leave you with a message of step into your power and let your voice roar. Thank you very much, Evie.
Thank you.